And welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Colin Murdy, and today's topic is the cost of doing business. But first, I say thank you to everyone who supported the company so far. If you haven't got a chance, go check us out on the web at murdycreative.co. That's MURDY creative.co. Or you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching at murdycreative.co to see the best of our product shots. Follow us, keep up to date with our daily photos, to be the first one to know about new product launches. You can also use the subscribe button at the bottom of our website to be included in all of our new product announcements. Be sure to check out our laser engraving personalization option and exclusive colors on the website, or you can get a blank one on Amazon Prime. All right, so first and foremost, go join our Discord server. The link is in the top of the description. Please, please, please. That server is a great place for you to share ideas with us to share ideas with you, get some behind-the-scenes information, maybe do some surveys. We've had a wonderful community on Discord who have done a great job telling us what they want to hear and what they want to see, and we want to listen to that. So please, join our Discord server. The link is in the top of the description. All you need to do is click on that and follow the steps, and it'll get you in the Discord server, and you can talk directly to us. We got a great community in there. Second, and arguably more important, but only slightly, the best prices of the year are happening right now. It will not get cheaper than this. The prices that you see, that you buy right now, will not get better, and here's why. The BOGO sale that we have going on right now that will probably end, based off when I'm recording this and what the plan is, it'll probably end within 24 hours of you hearing this, if you're listening to this on the day that it's sent out. It's probably going to end within 24 hours, and once it ends, the BOGO sale is over. At that point, we are going to be looking at a price hike. It's probably not going to happen instantly, but it will happen between now and before we do the BOGO sale again, Black Friday, Cyber Monday in November. So the Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals that you are getting right now are better than the Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals you are going to get in November. The prices are going to go up between now and then. When? I don't know. We will announce it, though. I have been talking to the team. I've been talking to some of the people that I talk to with these kinds of things. And basically, the discussion that I've had with them is, look, we want to do a price increase. We have to do a price increase. We will not continue to exist as a business if we don't. How do we do it? One of the things that was brought up, and I think it's a good idea, is to say, announce that you're going to be doing a price increase and give it a date. Because at that point, your customers then know and are incentivized to buy before the price hike. And yes, are you going to lose money a little bit on those orders? Yes, but at the same time, you get the benefit of, it's kind of like a little bit like running a sale without running a sale. So we will announce it before it happens. It will not be a shock. It may happen relatively quickly after we announce it, like within a day or two. But that's mostly because at some level, I'm trying to hold off doing the price increase as long as I can. But that leads us to today's topic. So I have been staring at the numbers intently for the last couple of days. Well, for the last couple of weeks, actually. I've been staring at the numbers intently, but as I've talked about in the last podcast episode and the podcast previously and all those other things, because the line of credit did not get extended, we are out of runway. Because Shopify is taking 17% of our daily sales, we suddenly, overnight, have to go from being negative 5 to 8% to being 17% profitable. That is an enormous hurdle. That is a 25 percentage point swing in our profitability. Now, this is obviously a really challenging situation to be in, right? Because Shopify is going to take their money come hell or high water. They take their money every day. This is mob money. I talked about this when I talked about this on the episode. Mob money. Because they are going to get their money, period, every day. That really creates a problem for us. Because unless we can either get outside liquidity to help float that 17%, or on the other side, we actually have to be 17% profitable because we are also we're out of money. We're out of liquid cash, right? So it's basically what we have to make decisions on today is the money that came in from yesterday. And that kind of day-to-day decision-making makes it very challenging to some extent. It's exhausting. It's stressful. It is very challenging. But beyond that, it has forced me to say, okay, how do we make this work, right? What are the numbers? How do the numbers have to look for us to make this work? And what we've basically come to is this. Our marketing costs and our materials costs together make up about 66% of every dollar sold. It's about 31% for marketing costs. That fluctuates up and down a little bit, but not much. And it's about, give or take, 38% right now for cost of goods sold. with materials, shipping, and taxes, not labor. I consider labor a fixed cost, even though it technically is not, but it is, because at some level, it's not like, I mean, you can send people home if there's no work, but that doesn't really get us anywhere, right? And that's also not good for your employees, and it's not good for your business. So labor, in my mind, is a fixed cost. It's not a variable cost. Because of that, if you look at our variable costs as a whole, basically what we need to do is this. We need to cut something like 20 to 25% of our daily marketing spend completely. And at the same time, we need to have our sales go up from their current level by 10%. And I don't know how that's going to happen. I am hoping that the new businesses that we are trying to bring on provide some scaffolding for that part. I'm hoping that the continued efforts that we're making with SEO start paying dividends, but that would be paying dividends very early. So I'm loath to think that that's actually going to happen. And the more realistic solution to the problem of we need to generate 10% more sales with 25% less marketing spend is something along the lines of we've got to get people to come back and buy because of something cool. Whether that's cool new products, cool new colors, cool new whatever, we've got to get people back. And we got to get people to come back and buy now. Now, the good news is it's back to school season, right? So there's opportunities there. And I'm hoping we can take advantage of those. One of the challenges, obviously, is we want to make a 14-inch sleeve for, well, now the 14-inch MacBook. But the problem is the 14-inch sleeve is going to require something like $1,000 probably in die costs. And with what I just said about the fixed cost making, 33% of it, we have to basically say that would have to generate $3,000 in sales right now. It would have to generate $3,000 in sales within probably 2 to 3 weeks of us getting the die and launching the product. And that'd be something like, well, based off the price, something like 30 sleeves. Problem is the tech sleeves, well, the leather sleeves now is what they're called, make up less than 1% of our overall sales. They're just not that popular of a product. They were a product that people ask for, but not one that people want to buy. Now, with the variable costs, with the marketing costs being down 25% and the sales having to be up by 10%, we also have to get at the same time our cost of goods sold down from 38% to at least 35%, if not lower. Getting our cost of goods sold from 38% down to 35% is made harder by the fact that shipping is included in that, and the shipping plus what we pay in sales tax to the various states. By the way, what you pay in sales tax, I want to clarify, I'm just the tax collector, but you're the one paying it, right? That's about 1.5% on top of the shipping costs, which makes for a total of about 8.25. So 8.25 percentage points of the overall total cost of materials, those all factor in. So now we've got a problem. Because that means for every fixed dollar that we have in cost, we have to generate $3 in sales. You're seeing where I'm going with this. That means every dollar we can cut out of our day-to-day expenses lowers our break-even point by $3. Now, this factor is made worse to some extent because our cost of goods sold continue to rise despite all of our best efforts to minimize them. Our cost of advertising continues to rise despite the best efforts to minimize them. And now we're talking about our fixed costs. To get our fixed costs down, we need to cut something like $3,000 to $4,000 out of our monthly fixed cost. Well, that's the equivalent of an entire person or more for labor costs. Well, we can't fire somebody. We don't have the capacity to fire somebody and continue to do production. So we've had to do extraordinarily aggressive cuts to a lot of different things. Leah and I taking a big pay cut, which I'm not thrilled about, but that's life. Our admin team has voluntarily given up all of their healthcare benefits. We've frozen all of our retirement matching. We've had to do aggressive cuts in the software we use, the way we're doing things in that regard. It's like a bloodbath. And thankfully, if we can do this and everything works the way it needs to work out, I don't think we're going to need to go further with the cuts. As far as, I don't think we're going to need to cut employees. And I don't think we're going to need to cut the health benefits for the non-administrative staff. I don't know that for sure, but I don't think that will be necessary. There's a lot of uphill battle, though. And like I said, going from 5 to 8% negative over the last 12 months-ish on average. It's more like the last 6 months we've been in that place. And realistically, the last 12 months do not look good on our books. Now, part of the reason they don't look good on our books is because we've been trying to grow, right? We've been buying equipment, we've been buying dies, we're trying to build the company. And that was fine until it wasn't. We can no longer afford to not be profitable, and we have to be profitable right now. And a 25% swing is enormous. It is an enormous swing. And the problem is there's a lot of elements of our day. There's a lot of elements of our business that are the cost of doing business. And by that, I mean, they're just the cost of doing business. Sales tax, great example. Shipping and free shipping is an element of that, right? People expect free shipping. It's just a cost of doing business. Now, we could charge for shipping, and we did used to charge for shipping back in February and before. And the problem is that I don't know if it's really helped or not. Our sales have remained relatively the same. So you have to ask yourself, well, if your sales have remained relatively the same from a dollar's perspective, I don't know about volume. That should be something, that's an interesting thing to question, is if we've been selling more expensive items because we have free shipping. I should look into that. Regardless, the point is that free shipping is somewhat of a Mox-Nix issue, right? If we start to charge for shipping, we're going to make fewer sales theoretically, or the same amount of sales, and it'll be exactly the same amount of revenue. So it helps, but only marginally so, perhaps. Beyond that, there are things like we have to collect sales tax in a handful of states, like 5 or 7 states we have to collect sales tax in now. Well, the software to manage that, because there's 10,000 tax jurisdictions in the United States. That's not an exaggeration. There's 10,000 tax jurisdictions because you have your state level, your county level, and you have oftentimes local taxes on top of that, stadium taxes, things like that. So we have to pay for software to manage all of that because there's no way we can know what the taxes are in Dearborn, Michigan, for example. I mean, that would be impossible to manage, right? So we have to pay, and the software is not cheap, right? But thanks to our brilliant leaders, here we are. And it's a lot of that nickel and dime kind of stuff, right? And it's really frustrating to me. Anna made a joke to me when she was running through our books, because Anna's been helping me a lot with the bookkeeping side of things. Anna ran through, she's like, well, I'm looking for expenses we can get rid of. We can get rid of this one. And she held up. Anna, if you're listening to this, it was a perfect joke. I'm sorry I missed it the first time. It was perfect. It was the perfect joke. And she's like, well, we could get rid of this expense. And she holds up the books, and it's the payroll expense that we paid to the IRS a couple of weeks back, which was like $10,000, right? Anyway, all of this to say that we will survive. We will make it through. And here's why. The Shopify debt has over halfway paid off. Because Shopify takes 17% of repayment, there is somewhat of a timeline in which that the Shopify debt will be repaid, right? We only need to be, theoretically, 17% profitable until we finish paying off the Shopify debt. At that point, we can go back to either being break even, as long as we can continue to be at break even. We could theoretically go a little bit back into being negative, not that I would want to, if we had extra money that we could, finance in some way. The other alternative is that this ends, or at least the worst of it ends, if we can get a little more liquidity from the banks. If the banks will actually extend the line of credit, which continues to be an ongoing battle, uphill battle. And I don't blame them. Like I said, the books don't look great for the last 12 months because we've been growing, right? So this is a big part of this. And if the line of credit comes through, let's say the line of credit came through tomorrow, we would still need to cut costs. We would still need to cut our marketing budget. We would still need to have better sales. We'd have to do all of those things, but we might not need to cut the healthcare benefits, for example, right? We could potentially make it not quite so drastic. And I think that that's going to be a big part of this. We will make it through. The Shopify debt will be finished being repaid. And by the way, if we can actually pull this off and get 17% profitable for the next 3 months while we're paying off that Shopify debt, I would be shocked if any banker wouldn't look at that go and say, you went from being negative 5 to 8% every month for the first 7 months of the year, first 6 months of the year, and then all of a sudden you went to being 17% profitable for the 3 worst months of your year normally. I think most bankers are going to look at that and say, okay, I believe you when you say that you're negative because you're growing and that you can be profitable when you need to be profitable. And I'm hoping that, if that all plays out like that, they're going to look at us and say, yeah, you're very worthy of investing in. So I'm hoping that all that plays out, but it's a tough time. It's a scary time. And I know that obviously a lot of you are sitting there looking at your own bank accounts and looking at the situation of what's in front of us and the extraordinarily and insane inflation rate. And the fact that the government is not slowing their spending habits. And that means that the inflation will continue. And I know you're sitting there thinking to yourself, I don't think I can afford a journal right now. And you might not be able to. And I completely and totally respect that. I understand that. And I am very, very sympathetic to that situation. But if there are people out there that are like, you know what? I have the money and I've always wanted a journal, or I've always wanted one of the products. Now is the best time. You absolutely could spend the money. Now is absolutely the best time. And I appreciate those of you who continue to support us and have done that for a long time. And there's many of you out there that have continued to support the company through your purchases for years. And I appreciate you. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in today. Be sure to check back in on Thursday for our next topic. And don't forget to check that subscribe button as well as the notification button to get notified as soon as we launch new episodes. If you have any questions or concerns about your leather binder, journal, folio, accessory, or sleeve, please do feel free to reach out to us on MurdyCreative.co, or you can contact us via the main page of our website. You can also contact us via Facebook, Instagram. You can text, email, call, direct message, all the usuals. We'll do our best to get back to you as soon as possible. We do appreciate your patience in the meantime. If for whatever reason you want to get a hold of us via the phone for placing an order or something along those lines, please feel free to call us at 414-434-9001, Monday through Friday. We're available 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time. You can also text us at that number, 414-434-9001. If you do get us either during hours or after hours and you get our voicemail, please do leave us a voicemail. We do listen to them. We respond to them. We call people back. And we appreciate those of you who reach out to us that way. Also, if you want to get a little quicker response, perhaps, or you've got a question that maybe the community can answer, do join our Discord. The link is in the top of the description. Join that Discord. You can ask questions there. It's just one of those areas where there's a lot of people who often know the answers, even if it's not us. And they're happy to chime in when they do know the answers. So it's a great way to kind of get an answer there too if you've got questions. If you think I deserve it, a good review can go a long way to help us grow. Both a review on the podcast app on whatever you're listening on itself, but as well as the review on the product. If you go to murdycreative.co/reviews, you can see there's a button there that says leave us a good review. You click on that button right now, it's going to take you to google.com and you can leave us a review right there. It does help us. We're working on improving our Google SEO, and that is why we've migrated our reviews from Facebook to Google. We're still working on transitioning them. But if you also want to read all of our old reviews, you can go check them out on facebook.com/reviews or murdycreative.co/reviews. You can read those there. If you were to leave us a bad review for whatever reason, there's another button there that says get directly in contact with us. It is deeply important to me personally that everyone has a good experience with the company and with the product. If for whatever reason you're unhappy, please reach out to us. We will take care of you. We will do refunding, recrafting, whatever we can. Just give us an opportunity to make things right before you leave us a bad review. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising, so please tell your friends about the company. If you want to get a little something for doing that, be sure to log in with the little person icon at the top of the website. Then in the bottom right-hand corner, there is a rewards tab. When you click on that rewards tab, it'll open up a little window pane. You'll be able to see your creative cash that you've earned there. That's 10% back on any purchase you make as in-store credit. That credit you can spend on anything in the store as well, so it's a great way to get a little something for being a return customer. There's also a shareable link in that tab. In that little pane there, that shareable link will give your friends and family $10 off their first purchase, and you get $10 of in-store credit when they make that purchase. So it's a great way to help the company. Helps us all around. We appreciate when you guys do that. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising. But if you also want to have any podcast topics you want to hear more about, tell me. Send them my way. Leave them in the Discord comments below. Leave them in the comments on YouTube below. Send us an email, sales@murdycreative.co, sales@murdycreative.co. I want to hear what podcast topics you want to hear more, and I want to tell you, about the things I can. So definitely reach out if you got questions on that. If you're looking for multiple binders, journals, folios, accessories, anything else we sell for gifts, giveaways, menus, really any reason, we have bulk discounts built directly into the cart. So all you need to do is add everything to your cart. You can mix and match to your heart's desire. You can get all of those things that you really, really want, and then you can hit checkout. It automatically detects the total quantity of eligible items in your cart. For example, add name engraving, even though it's a separate line item, is not a separate thing. So that doesn't count for the bulk quantity. But the core product, whatever the core product is, would count. That's an example. But it'll detect whatever the eligible item numbers in your quantity in your cart, and it'll automatically apply that appropriate bulk discount for that quantity. If for whatever reason you have any trouble with that, or you want to know more about the bulk discounts, or there's something along those lines, do feel free to reach out to us, sales@murdycreative.co. We are happy to help troubleshoot things and work on finding you what you're looking for. If you're looking for a custom engraved item, we have no minimum order quantities and no setup fees. It's a simple flat fee, normally $15 per item. It can actually go down quite a bit because that discount, that engraving fee is actually subject as well to the bulk discount. So if you're going to get a whole bunch of items with your company logo or something engraved on them, it can actually be quite a bit less than that $15 per item, unless otherwise you just can get one and get that $15 on there. Go to any of the product pages on our website right now, and you can click Add Custom Logo. When you click that Add Custom Logo, it's going to open up the custom product page, and then you can open up the customizer by clicking on the button. Once you open up that customizer, you can add logos, you can upload images, you can change the artwork, change the text, you can change the positioning and size of everything, and then you can click Add to Cart. It automatically ties your design to the product purchase so that when we go to make it, we can just pull that up and engrave that directly on there. So it's a great way to make it exactly how you want it. If for whatever reason you don't see that Add Custom Logo button on the product page, send us an email, sales@murdycreative.co. We'd be happy to create a mock-up for you as well as a custom order link for that specific product. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and goodbye.